Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren from Brave Minds, where we help children and adults reclaim life after difficult experiences. I'm talking with my awesome colleague, Jessica Pizzo. She's a licensed clinical social worker and a certified perinatal mental health counselor. Before we get started, these videos are for education and inspiration. It's not meant to be a replacement for professional medical or mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment, but we are excited to share this information with you. Jessica, thank you for joining us. I know that you're really passionate about helping moms through the postpartum experience, and you're also an affirming therapist. Can you tell us what that exactly means?
Yes, thank you for having me today, Lauren. I'm very excited to be here. So after my own challenging birthing and postpartum experience, I became very passionate about supporting moms with the transition to motherhood. And as an affirming therapist, what that means is that I create spaces where all individuals who identify as mothers can feel safe and thrive.
That's awesome. Thank you. Now, being a mom, being a therapist that works with moms, what are some of the most common things that you hear from moms about the postpartum experience?
So the one thing that I hear the most often is about the relationship changes that can happen during the postpartum period and the transition into toddlerhood. So if you're co-parenting with a partner, you may be adjusting to new routines and contributions to your family. You may find yourself feeling overwhelmed or touched out. Maybe you're noticing your sex life is dwindling. You may be experiencing changing family relationships as you continue to set boundaries and communicate the unique values and parenting preferences of your parenting to your extended family. You may also notice relationships with friends changing as you have challenging schedules and finding it hard to kind of get together. So just want to state expressly that during this time, relationship changes are normal and to be expected.
Wow. Yeah, those are a lot of changes for people to cope with. So, given that, what can moms do to be prepared for motherhood?
So I would say be prepared to be triggered. So let's say you're the mom of a toddler and you will notice you're feeling triggered often. Maybe your child has asked for a snack, and when you bring it back, they don't want that snack or they want a different color cup. Maybe you notice you're raising your voice more often than you would like. You're becoming hot or flustered or overwhelmed when you're parenting. So in the toddler years specifically, with new behaviors comes new parenting challenges. And if you have a partner, that can bring up a lot of conversation on how you would like to parent and discipline together. So I would encourage you to use this opportunity, explore your childhood with your partner if you have one, talk about potential triggers and ways that you can each support each other with this and tackle parenting challenges. And if you don't have a co-parent, I would suggest leaning into other social supports and networks.
Yeah, we can't do it on our own, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, I wish more people knew that you will be triggered, especially by your toddler, and how normal that is. Um,
Absolutely.
and also another thing I hear is that moms really kind of lose that themselves when they become a mother. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the transition to motherhood really can change your sense of self and identity. And I just want to say it's okay if you are still figuring out who you are right now. So these years come with their own unique sets of challenges that can impact your identity. Perhaps you're, navigating going back to work after some time off, or you're a stay-at-home parent and you're working on creating a successful routine for you and your child. So after the initial adjustment with the baby, it's common for moms of toddler years to begin to re-explore their own identity again. So you may notice that you're ready to connect to yourself a bit more as your child transitions into toddlerhood and becomes a little bit more independent. Um, it's okay to grieve parts of yourself that, were parts of your previous identity that may no longer fit in motherhood, while also celebrating the new parts of yourself that have come within this role and celebrating all of those parts.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So what I'm hearing you say is a lot of these changes and challenges are very normal and they're very hard. And so what do you recommend to moms who want some advice to get through these difficult experiences?
Yeah, listen to your mom gut, listen to yourself. So in today's day and age, we're bombarded constantly with pictures and images on social media. Moms have a lot of pressure that we're putting on ourselves as parents to parent in a certain way that society tells us that we should. So I would say try not to compare yourself to others. Remember that your values and parenting preferences are unique to you and your family. Instagram is a highlight reel. Try not to compare yourself, and explore and identify your own unique values when it comes to parenting to increase your confidence as you move forward and listening to your mom gut.
That's great. Yeah, social media is really tough with the comparisons, right? We see so many people that seem to be thriving through motherhood. So beyond that, what else can moms do to get through this time?
So I know, we talk about self-care often, and during this time period, it can seem like the last thing that you have the time to do, but I really want to encourage all moms to really ensure that you take the time for self-care. So whether this is a small period of time, make it meaningful and intentional. Spend the time doing things that really fill your cup, that make you feel good. For me, that's making sure that I dance every day, whether it's for 10 to 15 minutes to, music that I enjoy and I move my body. But also try and think on the longer term. Can you set up childcare with extended support system, or a paid childcare provider, maybe once every few months, where you can try a new class on something that you've wanted to explore, or go check out a new museum that you haven't been to before. Because really giving to yourself in that way will help you parent in the way that you envision. Feel more
That's
empowered
beautiful.
in your mothering.
I know that can be so hard for moms to do, but it's, mothers are a priority as well. What would you say, if I were to ask you, what are some of the keys to surviving the transition to motherhood and also the toddler years?
Yes, so I like to say that the key to surviving the transition to motherhood is communication and community. So what do I mean by that? Communication and community, meeting up with, creating a sense of community with other moms and communicating openly and honestly about these struggles to create a sense of support with one another.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Tell me more about connection and community and also how moms can find that.
Yes. So I will be beginning the Braving Motherhood group. It's a group that's open to moms from the ages of 0 to 3. And my hope for this group is for participants to find that communication and community. I'll be bringing in some of the topics that we mentioned today, such as the transition to motherhood and exploring and reclaiming your identity, changes in relationships.
That's awesome. I love that you're creating a safe space for moms. Now, what would you say to moms who are hesitant to join the group? Maybe they've had a bad experience with mom groups in the past. What makes this group different from some of the others?
So as I mentioned earlier, I'm an affirming therapist, and as an affirming therapist, it's really important to me that all of the participants would really feel safe and validated in their experience in the group with me. So what will that look like? During the first group, I'll be asking the participants to join in helping to create the group rules, bring in topics that they would like to see discussed during this time together. Discuss things like the importance of confidentiality and respect for other group members. So it's just really important to me that all members of this group would feel like active participants in creating this space together.
That's so great to hear. Thank you so much, Jessica, for, one, just creating the safe space for moms and starting this group that I think is much needed for our community, and also just for normalizing some of the experiences that moms have. It's so good to hear that we're not alone in those experiences. How can people reach you to inquire about the moms group or even about working with you directly?
You can inquire more about the Braving Motherhood group by calling our intake team at 908-242-3634 or visit bravemindsnj.com.
Now, if people are unsure about whether or not this group is a good fit for them, you offer free consultations, right?
Yes, I offer free consultations, and I'd be happy to speak with anyone who's interested in some more information.
Wonderful. Jessica, thank you so much for just normalizing the motherhood experience and also creating this safe space. And everyone listening, thank you for joining us, and we hope to speak with you soon.
Thank you for having me today, Lauren.
Take care.
Take care.